sure a lot of you guys have heard of or read the Bible before, but did you know there are a lot of interesting creatures mentioned in it? In today's video, we'll be unleashing our creativity by blending ancient history with modern technology. We will be creating these creatures using the descriptions given to us in the Bible. However, a few artistic liberties might have to be used just a little bit. The first creature that we're going to make is the Leviathan. Now, the Leviathan is mentioned many times in the Bible and is described as being armor-plated and having a lot of teeth and even having the ability to breathe fire. It even says that it walks on land and leaves wake in the mud, but we're going to stick more to the ocean theme in this one. I know it says it can walk on land as well, so I'm going to give it some features, as in this like Spinosaur at his feet right here. Let's start by just adding a nice solid blue color layer to make the ocean. That's a good base for what we need. So we're going to start off by just cutting in a shape for what I want the creature to be. And I'm thinking kind of like a sea monster, like a snake-ish, kind of. Let's just cut out a nice shape for it. But this is just a shape that we're going to use to go off of it. We're going to start off by adding in this dinosaur skin. Using warp, we're going to warp these in shape so it looks like it goes around the curvature of the skin. Now we're going to fade out the skin just using a soft brush with the flow at around 10%. And we're just going to fade out this edge. Then we're going to add some basic shadows in. Try to make it look like it's kind of like curving around. It's hard to explain, but you'll see in a second. Kind of therapeutic, honestly. We're going to make the skin a little more rough so it doesn't look so smooth on the edges like this. To do that, we're just going to mask out the scales a little bit and make it look a little less smooth. This doesn't have to be too precise, just make it look a little more rough. Now what we're going to do is add the head of it, and I imagine the head to be kind of like a Spinosaurus. It's very well rounded in the fact that it isn't only adjusted for the water. We're going to put that right on just like that, which actually fits scarily well. Now we're going to match the colors. Add some blue and some cyan into it. Now we're just going to adjust these shadows once again. And next I'm going to take the tail of this fish called a Dunkleosteus. I think that's how you say it. I really have no clue. We're just going to put this in position right here. Now we're going to mask off all of this that we do not need. And we're also going to match the same color. And boom, it's matched almost perfectly to the body. So I found a couple more images for the arms and the legs that I needed. So what we're first going to do is we're going to take the arms of this guy. Just going to fade it out into the body like we were doing before. And we're going to match the colors. Now we're going to add some nice shadows to that. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with the other arm. And we'll have to do the same thing, but with the legs. I'm just going to speed run this part because it's the exact same process as the arms. Now that we have its nice little legs in here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to create little spikes right here. We are just going to draw little spikes just like this. Now we're going to take this texture right here and we are going to clip it onto every single one. Then we're going to make it that same cyan blue color. I'm gonna put some nice shadows on it on each scale, which will take quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. Now this actually looks pretty dang cool. I'm not gonna lie. I am going to try to make the inside of his mouth kind of glowy because it does say it can spit fire. It's just kind of difficult to do when it's underwater. We're going to just draw a nice glowing color just like that, and we're going to put that on linear dodge add. Now we're going to make a more red orange color layer, put that on linear dodge add, And we are just going to add a nice little glow over the top. We're just going to draw in some highlights where this fire thing touches. And that actually looks really, really cool. Now we're gonna add some nice bubbles. We are also going to add a nice light, a nice sky blue color. Let's add some highlights on the top of the Leviathan. Now we're just going to add a nice little blur. Now one of my favorite parts, we're going to add a camera raw filter. And this is probably one of my favorite creations that I have ever made. It's just cool and it's creative and it's something different, and I just hope you guys like it. Here it is. Most people think of angels as nice feminine creatures or babies with some white wings. However, it does not look like that at all. Some look like this, or even this, but the angel that I'm going to be going off of today is called the Cherubim. The Bible describes them as having 4 wings, 4 faces, with the head of a human at the front, a lion to the right, an ox to the left, and an eagle behind them all. So the first thing that I'm going to do is grab this picture of a woman, and we are just going to select her out. Now let's grab this dress and let's put the dress on her. Now let's warp this to make this fit her body. Obviously I am taking some artistic liberty with this, as the description given is just not enough to go off of on its own, so I have to take some artistic liberty to make it look okay. Now we're gonna add in some first of 4 pairs of wings. Second pair of wings are gonna go right here behind her. The third pair of wings are going to go in front of her. And there's going to be 1 more pair of wings. Those wings are just going to go in the back over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this lion head. I'm going to put it behind the woman. Then on the other side, we're going to grab the bull head. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Now we're going to put the eagle in place in the backpack. Now we're going to add in shadows to both the lion and the bull to make them look like they are actually there. Just doing this makes it all come together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make these wings all glow a kind of bright orangey red. Now we're going to add an exposure layer. Just like this. We're just going to add nice exposure at the top like this to make it look like it's glowing. Then we are going to do that to all of the wings. We're actually going to make the background a little bit darker so you can tell the wings are going to be glowing. Now I'm going to add some nice fire overlays. Oh, that looks really good. We're just going to keep adding these. Don't want to overdo it, but the effect is very nice. Now it's time to add a nice glow over the top. So we're just going to add a red/orange solid color fill layer and put that on linear dodge add. Now we are just going to paint this over the fire and all the parts that are glowing. And that is a very good start. Now I'm going to start adding some highlights on the woman. Just drawing these highlights makes it look like the light is actually there and is interacting with the characters. By the way, tell me guys if you like me doing the talking while I'm doing the work, or if you like me doing the voiceover afterwards better, just so I know what to make in the future. Now we're going to do all this stuff, but with the eagle as well. See how good those highlights look? Now I'm just going to add some nice sparks to the foreground as well as the background. Just add some texture to the whole thing and brings everything together. Now I'm going to add a camera raw filter to the whole thing. And this is the final product. I hope you guys enjoy it. I worked long and hard on this, and I think it looks pretty dang good.